This is Mr. Everna Lee Taylor, who is the godfather of the Art Central Gallery here in Phoebus, Virginia, where housed within this mighty, mighty arms are some fantastic artists. One being Mr. Taylor himself, a pictorial storyteller.
Not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll think up stories whatever's current and on my heart. That's what I produce, and hope that everybody understands it and gets something from it when they look at it. If they don't derive some kind of feeling or impression, then I failed in what I'm trying to do.
Mr. Taylor, folks, that's who he is, and we all bow down to him.
No.
Oh, yes, we do. The hero amongst us.
I try to stay hidden.
Hidden figure here in Langley. Okay, this one doesn't wear pearls or glasses, or maybe he does, but he doesn't wear pearls or high heels. Yeah, the hidden figures.
Used to have muscles. Every day.
Everna Lee Taylor. Everna, all of that, the only thing that was supposed to be publicized was Everna. That way it offered an element of mystique. You didn't know if I was male, female, black, white, or green, and that's where I wanted. Somehow Google or whoever does the research, they found it somewhere, my whole name. That's because the military did it. They couldn't find my name in existence anywhere. So, for me to be me, they came up with the solution was I had to have all three names for it to be legitimate. Everna Lee Taylor. My birthday is 9/12/1966. I'll be 80 in a couple of months, September. Went to school. Well, my diploma is from Brockville, Maryland, and DCC, and Maryland, University of Maryland, European branch, a multitude of other places I went to school. None of it had any association with art. Art is the least ability I had for academic. They don't believe that, but hey, they believe what they want to. I never had the opportunity to go to school. 20 years I didn't do any art. I didn't touch any art. And I brought it back to have something to do. First of all, I was thinking of not of myself, because I got enough art to fill up all three of these places. But I wanted to make it available for those out there that don't have a place to show their art. It's called empathy, a decent place. Now, I learned from world trade, people like to see stuff, even if they see it online. And someplace they can go in and see the stuff firsthand and know for sure whether they like it. So they see it firsthand, they got their touch, feel, whatever they have to do. And there it is. That's the real deal. So you see it from there. A lot of so-called, I'll say just so-called artists, but they don't have an idea of presentation, which is very important, and they see it firsthand.
Actually, it's three, and they're all in one building. Until later on, I'm trying to have another one in a different geographical location. Maybe Texas, depending on how it's accepted. A lot of my work was accepted good out of California, but these are not places that I had to go to, So I'm trying to get another Art Central 2. Of course, it might be around there. It might be up towards Richmond, but I'm trying to get where, it's more of acceptance factor out of the region. So, of course, was surprised to me was people out towards California and stuff. They loved it, but I don't see like nautical stuff. Water out there, but sometimes they probably just want something East Coast. So my concept might be like a boat or yacht to some, but here's something that's different. People want to have something different. But with my mother, of course, she was she taught only music, and that's what she was, a musician. But she did a little tinkering and a little drawing, and that's all. And I just did it with only her and myself. I was only. That's what I did to keep myself busy. I never got a chance to grow up with any. I didn't have any siblings, so it was just her and I. My great inspiration to me. Norman Rockwell was a great inspiration to me, because I'm still trying to figure out how he he did a lot of his work, but he was phenomenal. What he did, he had, I don't know all the different terms, but he did more illustrative work. He used to produce stuff for the Post and all of them got him to do stuff, but the guy is phenomenal for what he did. He was really the guy that inspired me. Actually, back in those days, I never knew nothing about, we didn't have, they weren't floating all around mental to get you on the right track. A lot of things we didn't know. It was after me, the school that he went to up in Minnesota, they were after me, I was about 8 years old, but I knew, I couldn't go to school because, I could ask my mother to reach in the goodie bag. We didn't know, and I didn't know anything about grants and all those kind of things. We just didn't know. Nobody told us. I think they were after me until I got to be 23 years old. I guess they finally gave up on me because they kept sending letters. I knew I couldn't embarrass my mother, but it was enough to keep us fed. I was shameful because $3 to get, savings, like grants and things like that. We didn't know anything about it. Nobody rushed to the back door to tell you about it. But not having any knowledge about it, we didn't know what could be done. Nobody wrote, like I said, no one was rushing to tell us.
That's it. That's all. Because just like Jerome said the other day, he said, well, most folks, they didn't know nothing about folk art. Of course, academia disagrees with me. That's fine art. I said, no, it's folk art. And to me, what I've got is a cross between realism and caricatures. And that's what I do. Because I can do realism, but I choose not to. Anybody, I won't say anybody, but most people can do stuff that looks aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't move anybody, it doesn't say anything. And that's what I want the emotion to speak to people.
Well, there's one thing in particular is because you can do the art based on the way you feel. You're not saying this is the way it happened. You're saying this is the way it could have happened, okay? And you're telling the story the way you feel that it could have happened, and you make a pictorial of it, and it all resonates with the person if they know anything about the story. And that's what we're trying to do, is get it out there. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Get it out there. And another thing is how it's perceived. If perceived in a way that anybody, they look like, it's not nothing developed by a rocket scientist. It's anybody can do it. It's just homegrown, as the colloquialism would say. Well, exactly the African American, what they say, African American historical facts. Of course, we were here many thousands of years ago before anybody in Europe even knew it existed. over here, and those are the things that piqued my interest. One of the things, the Olmecs, and anything beyond that, you know, they talk about the Aztecs and the this and the that, but nobody never even said what the Olmecs, who they were, where they came from. You can't deny anything because it was stated in it's in the books with Montezuma, and he told them that when the Europeans came out there, the conquistadors, as they say, he told them about these people, and we were smelting metal, and long before they came from the west coast of Africa. There are certain places, matter of fact, that the route, you don't need no propulsion or anything. It's all natural. You come up into what they call the Gulf of Mexico, and that's where the 3 first cities were made. I would tell you the name of them, but I can't think of it right at the moment. But what I didn't know is that the Olmecs still exist. My method of penning ink, I do oil, but I do a kind of oil that most artists don't even know about. Penning ink, three-dimensional work, acrylic, and I guess that's about the biggest in the area that I'll work the most, because your stuff will dry up. It takes a special kind of talent using acrylic to get the, I think one of the best things I did was the unearthly visitors back there. That lady's face, it's hard to do that with acrylic, but you can't blend it. It has to go layer by layer by layer by layer, and that's the way to work with. That's a lot of people that gob stuff on big old gobs of paint. I mean, that is a method, but I don't subscribe to it at all. Well, it's a difference. It's not generated. You're talking about AI, something that's repeated no matter what. It came from a human, the idea. And I don't know exactly what to think about it, but it's not. We've had computer-generated stuff for a long time, but it has no feeling. It has no feeling whatsoever. And it does not convey to me and a few others. It conveys nothing that's just sitting there, pure and simple aesthetics. And it's computer-generated aesthetic, and it might be appealing to the eye, but what else is it doing? Just so I like something that if I've created something that has no movement or generates no real feeling, then I failed in what I attempted to do. Well, I don't think to get proper or an individual in it doesn't necessarily get the proper introduction and edification about it. We have seemingly a built-in jealousy factor, I guess. That'd be the only colloquial term that comes close to it. And we're not encouraged in that way, because we're afraid, that somebody else is going to be that. I have never said anything about being good or bad. It's just different. My stuff is different, That's all I'll say. But I have different methods that people are not familiar with always, but it works for me, and hopefully it works for the customer if they come in. And they come in and they look, a lot of people, my lady got a piece the other day and I messed up, but I don't think she'll be back or convey it to her from Pennsylvania. Her people were, but she's local around here somewhere. I mean, it might be up in Williamsburg or wherever. But I'm excited about that. They're not used to people come in. I don't care if they don't buy anything. As long as I look for them, I'm happy for them to discern what the picture is about. What's the story behind it? Can you? That tells me that I have conveyed it where it's interpreted right. Of course, I leave everything up to the interpretation of the viewer. I don't try to tell them unless they ask me. I've done big things in the Cambridge, Maryland, a lot of different places. A lot of people, they won't buy until they can get up close and personal and take pictures and all of this stuff. I necessarily am for that. I'm not a myopic type person, and I just hope that they can. I don't need all of that. That's kudos and accolades. Did never buy nobody a cup of coffee. Yeah, so it's close to being perfect. Phoebus, this area is supposed to be the art district, and I was just fortunate enough to beat everybody down there. Well, there were some down there, but they didn't last. They were trying to put out stuff without regard to the demographic. Everybody's not looking for vampires and people, whatever it is, that come screeching down the walls and stuff like that. You have to be knowledgeable about the demographic, or they won't buy it, or you won't get that. You have to have something that appeals to the people of that region, or they'll pass it by in a heartbeat. They won't even come there, and that's why I like diversity, because you can get something that somebody will like in that area that appeals to them. Or say, for instance, this area is highly historic, and people have no idea of how historic this area is as it relates to the contraband and so forth. Enslaved Africans or whatever, they don't know about Harriet Tubman. They don't realize that she was right here. They don't realize that the first enslaved people, the ship, came right here, right down the street. Point Comfort, which they is encompassed by Fort Monroe. This area used to be Mills Creek. So this is how you get to learn about the history of this area. We have no idea what occurred in this area. There's a lot of historical things that occurred in this town, or not town, but in this area. You have a lot of misinformed stuff, like Jamestown was the actual where the first ship came. No, came right here, right down the street. Of course, those proponents of the Jamestown version, they get quiet, or they get all the proceeds and accolades and so forth given to them. They're not going to say nothing about it. They're not going to deny it, but they know the difference. They know the real truth. Just like the picture I did one time about black folks. If you don't tell your own history and you leave it up to somebody else to tell it, then you'll get whitewashed completely out of it. you'll be missing. That's why I'm sorry that I didn't write the narrative yet. If I can get to where I can dictate it, especially for those historical type pictures, I will. I hope I can do it before I leave this planet, but some things you can pick up on your own, and some things you can't. You have to get the intended, what was intended to say. At this moment, from what I understand, there's nine other artists besides me. I don't count myself as an artist. There are supposed to be nine altogether. What I was trying to do was to have a decent place for them to display their art. So, trying to be on somebody's doorstep or a friend or offer a place for them to present their art in a decent surrounding, give it some clout and presence for presenting it. And there's the renting the space, wall space, and so forth for their good, and with it being seen under the right circumstances, let's make the presentation. People can stand back and look and say, this fits in mine, rather than thrown over in a corner somewhere. And probably it's to educate people also, and they're not looking for something just matched to drapes. That something really has meaning. That's what I do. First of all, part of my mission is to make sure we make available reasonable art, high quality art. Mine particularly is folk art. A lot of these people in this region hasn't reached them yet what folk art is. Secondly, we want to make it available for them to purchase it if they would like it. And it's original design art. On the other side of the galleries that I have gathered up, we got the other 9 other artists as of this moment. We try to make it available to them, diversified art. I believe in diversification, and put things out in the folk art style. Personally, there's other artists and they're all local, and it's original items from them. My plan to continue this out. They can pick up whatever they want. Or we also have a program where they can get something commissioned. They can commission pieces that specifically that they would like to see, and we can do it for them at a reasonable and affordable cost. There are definite reasons why a lot of people they don't know that it's available, and they think art costs are astronomical when it's not. A lot of them get confused as to what art is. They think it's like a car payment. Cars and so forth depreciate. Art generally appreciates, and in the long run it may give them back way more than they paid for it. And that's the appreciation concept. Every once in a while you see a big story about somebody's art, some aunt or somebody, granddaddy or something, had art up in the attic, and they come out to $1.5 million for it. I'm not saying that that's every piece, but the cost and so forth is determined by demand. You know, if there's demand, that sets the price for the art. Well, first of all, I would not to give up, because that's easy. Anybody can do that. Quit, you know. It takes somebody with real intestinal fortitude to keep on going, regardless of what somebody said. I think it touched on something for me. I think people count on what somebody else thinks too much. As we say colloquially, to hell with them if they can't take a joke. You just go ahead and do what you want to do, and pretty soon, with hope, that it'll resonate. But sometimes I've done something for somebody, it took 5 years for them to discover what was really there. Oh, I didn't know, I didn't see the birds up on the wires, the electrical wires, and this, that, and I didn't see the tree that fell in the forest there, you know, but it was there. You had it for 5 years, and you just not discovered it. So, then you get a different appreciation. Oh, I didn't, well, you keep on looking at mine. I can only speak for myself. If you keep looking, you'll see what the story is, and that's what you want, something that moves and moves people.